So I think we might see some cities exchange hands here because we've got the Zulu with a pretty big fleet moving around Africa to maybe go attack the Carthaginian capital, as well as we have a war with Denmark and Germany that broke out in the heart of Europe. Those two civs, specifically, because they're in the middle of Europe and they control a lot of lands, they border a lot of Europeans. Could we see someone join in on a weakened either Germany or Denmark? So let's go ahead and double check the religion overview and see exactly what dominant religion has been taken over. So right now it's still the Japanese Empire with Shinto. Shinto has still remained number one, but you know what? The Aztecs religion, and I apologize, I have no idea how to pronounce that. The Aztec religion is still it's catching up. But my point is, I can't pronounce that religion name. I'm terribly, terribly sorry. I really should. But the Aztecs religion is catching up. It's only 2 cities behind. And as we discussed and as we predicted, well, actually, you know what? I don't know because it depends. It still could catch up. But because the Aztecs lost their capital, I'm not sure exactly how much it's still spreading. Looks like most of South America has fallen to the religion, and that's what we are ultimately waiting for. If Austria settles down here, which I think they will, Austria is going to be the only... Who would have thunk Austria? From, like, video 1, people could tell Austria was screwed, but at the end of the day, by turn 303, it'll probably happen around 305, Austria is going to be the only civ with the colony at 1866 AD. That is the most ironic thing I think I can think of. Of all the colonization powerhouses, the colony powerhouses in Europe right now, it's Austria that was the one that got a colony out there in the New World, and they found a spot. I get it, North America's pretty kind of screwed right now, because you don't want to mess with the Iroquois, definitely not, because the Iroquois are some strong mofos. I love how strong the Iroquois are. They will defend their land against the Shoshone, that I guarantee. But anyways, so yeah, the Aztec religion is catching up, and I'm wondering if it's spread over towards Asia yet. No, so we're having actually Shintoism, and Shinto, I'm sorry, this is the battleground. America is the battleground between these 2 religious powerhouses. It's happening right here in America. Seattle following Shinto of Japan, but Atlanta following the Aztec religion. So it's spread and it's divided in half, and I love it. I love that it's happening in America. See, something significant is happening here, Washington. So you shouldn't feel too bad. America, don't feel too bad. You're somewhat significant. No religion for the Polynesian capital yet, but it looks like Shinto will more than likely take over at some point. So maybe it'll be close. It'll be close, but the problem is that I still believe that, Korea's going to get up a new colony in Australia. Good for I guess their whole empire is a colony now. Shinto has the opportunity, though, of continuing to spread, so I don't know. I'm not sure if the Aztecs are ever going to catch them. This might be, in the end, the closest they ever get to passing up the Japanese religion. But we have the Spanish Empire also doing a pretty good job. And the African nations, because the Spanish Empire has spread Catholicism throughout Europe, which is pretty significant. But the African nations and poor Celts, Judaism has been limited to just one city, and I believe, is it the... Yeah, it is. It's not even in the Celts. The one city is actually Denmark City. This is the holy city of Judaism, though, so I guess it makes sense. And then, yeah, so kind of the European powers, because Askia grabbed their own religion, have fought too much. As well as you have to think Persia has also had an impact. They've all kind of had, they've cut into the cities. We had, Askia with Islam, Persia with, I apologize, another religion I can't pronounce, as well as Ethiopia with Eastern Orthodox. They all kind of mixed up each other, and I think they've divided up the power in terms of the Middle East and Africa. It is too divided up religiously, of course. Japan still has a lot of opportunity, I think, to spread, though. As well as, you know what? Persia has a lot of opportunity to spread their religion, too. Persia's been not a bad job. Actually, Persia is the only thing that's keeping Shinto from getting over towards that Western hemisphere, I guess. Well, I guess no, because Shinto is just going the other way. Just going this way, through North America. So I guess it doesn't matter. Anyways, let's go ahead and go to the next turn. I'm interested to see exactly how that Korean Empire looks by the end of this game. Like we talked about, Australia is going to be up to them. Australia is going to be completely up to them. So let's double check and look around the wars. Maybe watch the Zulu fleet. Again, we don't know for sure. Austria and Persia. Now, wait a second. No, that doesn't mean anything because Austria only has one city right now. They're gonna get up that colony though. Now, that was a strange war, though. They don't have anything up here, right? Yeah, no, I thought they would have, but no, I guess not. Oh, they do. No, that's Poland. I'm sorry. I apologize. That is Poland. So, yeah, I thought they did, but that is other games. They have... Usually they get some cities out there, but that's some other games, I guess. That's a weird war. Especially if it wasn't a coalition that formed. It was just a one-shot war here. Now, who's at war? Oh, no, that's right. The Huns are still at war with Greece, but they haven't got there. Wait a second. What's going on with the... Yes, it's still going on. This war is still raging between these two scout units. And you know what? It looks like Greece might get the upper hand. More than likely, I think they're just going to continue to insta-heal for forever. No one will ever win this war, I think. So, let's see. Shaka's plotting against Ethiopia. Now, that's going to be a tough one. I love this. I didn't even realize what was going on here in North America. I don't think you can take over the Iroquois. Look at that. Look at that military. I know the Shoshone are extremely strong. I know that they've got some units, especially, you know, Navy-wise. But most of the Shoshone Navy is out in the Pacific Ocean. Nothing really too much in the Atlantic Ocean, which actually protects a lot of the European nations as well as African nations. Because more than likely in the Pacific, the only person that has to worry about it is Polynesia. But everyone else is kind of too far away for, I think, the Shoshone to navigate an important attack. Maybe the Shoshone are going to go after Korea, but I doubt it. Korea does have a lot of coastal cities, so they would have to worry. But I love this. I didn't realize the Iroquois were given enough time to catch up. Look at all these musketmen. Several musketmen all over the place. They would defend themselves, and they might even maybe strike an offensive. The problem is, I don't think the Shoshone would ever do it because they've got multiple trade routes up, sending them over towards the Iroquois lands. I don't think it would happen because the Shoshone need this. And they have no other economy, I think, to sustain themselves. They can trade with Washington, but more than likely, that's probably not racking them in too much money. That's probably not racking them in that much money at all, really. So I don't think they can really rely on that. They can try to trade with the Inca, but I'm sure those are probably going to form a rivalry at some point. The Inca don't like the Shoshone more than likely. The Mayan are still alive. You can trade with the Mayan, but again, it's kind of the same situation as Washington. You just, more than likely, that those trade routes are probably not bringing them in that much money. Now, is England trading with the Inca? I think that's what we're seeing here. I believe the Inca have a trade route up. I'm loving the trade routes. Inca are trading with the natives. Man, that is a long one too. Wow, what a route. And they're, man, you know what? England might be doing a really good job just because of their trade. They're going all the way to the New World, trading with a whole bunch of natives. Well, that's really cool. That is really, really cool. So it looks like the Zulu do not have open borders with Morocco. And if they do not get open borders, they're not going to be able to get to Carthage. They will not be able to get to Carthage territory. And that's been the problem for Songhai, too. Songhai is trying to send over units, but they just can't. Spain was going after Ethiopia, I believe. But they might be still trying to reinforce their colony in Africa. Okay, so what's going on here? I don't think I see too many units lost, but it doesn't matter. Again, I'm not focusing in on this war too much, only because nothing's going to come from it. The only thing that's going to come from it is both sides are going to lose units. And I'm wondering who's going to lose more. If Denmark loses more, it's not as big of an impact. Although you do have to worry about, Denmark has to worry about a lot of the musketeers up north. Those are strong, unique units, and you've got to deal with 3 of them in Orleans. And you're only 2 tiles away. So France could gain some power here. It is possible. How's Sweden doing? Controlling their empire. Controlling their empire in the east. We have Polynesia and Arabia. I'm sorry, Poland and Arabia. Weird, that's a strange war. That's a very strange war. What's going on with the scouts? Yep, they're insta-healing for eternity. This has probably been going on for thousands of years. I don't even know. India might be going out for a colony in the South Pacific Islands. It looks like that probably is the only place for them to go. They would have struggled if they settled someplace in the subcontinent of India. So that was probably the best choice for them. Some peace deals did happen, but nothing too big. Again, the coalitions are ending, and then more coalitions form. Yeah, so I don't think these two natives are ever going to break out into war. I think, if anything, the Shoshone are going to continue to expand down south into South America, maybe even attacking Washington at some point, until they get enough power where they think they can outmatch the Iroquois. I love the Iroquois, though. This is an interesting story. This is a very interesting story. I'm wondering where their military power is at. I know that it's probably not over the Shoshone, but it's got to be enough for their small, focused empire like this. It's a very smart move for them. So it looks like England has actually completely bypassed any sort of... there's a random war going on here. Any sort of trade with the Iroquois. They're going to the Shoshone lands instead, which is actually helping fund the Shoshone military. That's got to be hurting the Iroquois, and I'm sure it's because the Iroquois have maybe denounced England and they're not on good terms. Surprised the Celts are kind of trading still with Europe. Because the Celts are the other nation that can really have a good opportunity. So can Portugal. Portugal can start taking some pretty amazing trade routes and really kind of funding the Incan military. Because the Inca have some coastal cities out this way too. And you have to think vice versa. It goes both ways. Okay, so we have Shaka playing against Korea. Shaka's not going to be able to get around here. And like I said, Spain is pieced out. So I think I don't know what they're going to do with all these units that were trying to move through Rome territory. I'm wondering if Rome will eventually give Songhai open borders. Rome still doesn't have as big of a military as one would hope if they wanted to take over Carthage, and because Carthage still has all these units up. They still have plenty of units up. Okay, so what's going on? It looks like Germany's lost some troops. Man, what is France thinking? Yeah, so I'm thinking Germany has lost quite a bit. Now, actually, what is the Huns thinking too? The Huns could go after Munich. I don't think anything else would really come from it, though. I don't know. I don't know. This is going to take a while, I think, before we see the implications of this main European war. This is only, I don't know. How many European wars have we had? We haven't had any. I don't think we've had that many. We had a few in the very beginning, but this is the first European war to really break out this late in the game. There's been a really long peace, and I guess you could call it the EU. There was some sort of this massive amount of friendships just going on, all intertwined. But then you have an invading force from the Huns grabbing Barcelona, and you have the deterioration of these internal European civs. Also, France is getting up a military, and they're doing it very quietly. With these musketeers, if they attack now, they're going to be good. Bismarck is constructing Big Ben. Let's go ahead and send the spies someplace else. It's been a long time. Let's go ahead and send them someplace else. Where else should we send them to? Who are we interested in watching? Let's go to someone that we haven't been to before. What is going on with the Chinese war? It doesn't look like the naval units of Japan is really mobilized just yet, but they have a lot of naval units down here just south of Kyoto and Tokyo. But I don't think they're trying to move in, and I think they realize that it's because these Chinese unique units are just, they're too strong. You can't fight them. But what is India doing? Lots of mobilization, and because of the kind of the longer peace that we've had, wow, Persia. We're going to see some pretty big wars break out. Some pretty big wars break out, I think. Because there hasn't been too many proxy wars. But when the time comes, when military... Because as the game progresses, and that's kind of the way kind of, I guess, Sid Meier wanted the game to be, Civ 5 is a game where it gets easier and easier each era to take cities. And that's the easiest for AIs to take cities, when there's a bunch of aircraft everywhere, when they have bombs, uranium and atomic bombs and nuclear missiles and paratroopers. It gets easier and easier for the AI to take cities. So because there's been kind of a lack of proxy wars for a while now, it means that there's going to be some big shit happening, I think, between turn 400 and turn 500. There's still big shit happening now, but it's not as big of shit I think that could happen around turn 4 to 500. Anything else that's happened? I don't see it. Let me see what the spy has said again. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. We haven't moved around anything. That's right. I forgot about that. Let's check Mongolia, I guess. Let's go ahead and check Mongolia, I suppose. And then we've been checking the military powers, but let's check the Shoshone. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't check the Shoshone a lot longer ago. A lot, I guess, a long time ago. Crap, I'm blanking on the Shoshone capital. I don't think it matters, right? I can Doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I can set it anywhere. Is it this one? Wait a second. Oh, okay. I have to... Drew, come on. You got to actually select... There we go. So we're going to send it to Mongolia and the Shoshone and see what happens. No, that was the wrong capital. Dang it. Songhai Kani. I apologize for that. So remember that, yeah, Washington is still at war with the Shoshone. Of course, the Shoshone are probably going to never let America off the hook, but, well, you never know. We could see Seattle fall. Atlanta might have a slightly better chance because there's not too many units, I guess, tiles to move through to attack Atlanta. But Seattle might fall. The Shinto religion, the Shinto following Seattle. Let's see what Japan does here. It looks like they've just stayed quiet. And it probably was a smart choice. Shoshone have let Indonesia off the hook. Nothing happened to Indonesia. And they're not even expanding. Jeez, Indonesia, you... Just sad. Persia's strong, but they only have pikemen. That's the thing. A lot of these Middle Eastern states only have... You know, they're behind in technology. They're very behind in technology. Now, what would also be interesting to see if, because William is so far ahead in technology right now, it would be interesting to see if he has uranium and if he starts the Manhattan Project first. If he ever wanted to kind of just get Barcelona out of here, well, you know, you have to worry about the fallout reaching Spanish lands. If he doesn't mind kind of messing up that relationship, then I guess go for it. But I don't think he would do that sort of thing. Morocco, now the other civ to trade with the New World. A little bit. He's gotten up at least one trade route. I know he has... It looks like England is exclusively trading with the New World, though. Yeah, that seems to be pretty exclusive. Industrial era for Ethiopia. Arabia stayed quiet here in the Red Sea. Lots of naval units. But nothing really to protect them from someone like Babylon. Someone like Babylon's still scary. The Huns are still scary. Man, even more... Oh, no, they still have about the same musketeers. Let's watch anything that's happened. I swear, in these AI-only battles, Denmark and Germany love to go to war. Such a common thing to see these two at war. I guess it's because of the location of Copenhagen. It makes sense, but I feel like I see Denmark and Germany at war more often than I see a lot of the other nations. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, Japan and China are done. So, yeah, that random war just, yeah. I guess I don't know if the Ottomans started it or if China and the Ottomans were somewhat peaceful and they were like, hey, help me out, buddy. And he was like, okay. I don't know. Hey, but you know what? The borders aren't looking as bad as it was. The borders are starting to look better and better. Don't look at the middle of Asia. You've got a lot of colonization out here. But still, they're looking slightly better. See, it's starting to take longer and longer for the Huns' turn to process. They're starting to build up a force here. And in terms of, well, I think the Huns would, for the most part, leave the Middle East alone. They'd probably leave the Ottomans alone. And what's going on here? Byzantium had most of its units actually protecting the Black Sea, but not anymore. Could we finally be seeing them going to war with Greece? We predicted that a long time ago, but they haven't done it yet. Could we see it? Korea actually didn't even stay on Australia. They might be going for the Great Barrier Reef, but they're not going to be able to expand. They actually won't even be able to reach it, to work it. Byzantine scout has figured out what all this land is all about. Yes, Austria has done it. Austria has done it. Give the game to Austria. They win the game, for sure. Austria wins the game here in South America. They're the only European to do it, to colonize the New World by 1880 AD. And actually, Salzburg is going to stay there for a while. It's in a really defensive spot. No one is going to be able to... Actually, no. I mean, well, maybe not, because Brazil has no naval units. They only have one coastal city in Salvador, and they're not focusing at all on building a navy. So more than likely, Salzburg is going to stay in South America for a very long time. Now, that is awesome. That is really cool. Give the game to Austria, man. Give the game to these scouts that have been at war for thousands of years. No, the war is over. The war is over. Finally, there's going to be peace in this world. Looks like Siam has pushed out this Greek scout to finally lock off. I guess to finally stop the lock of eternal war. Anyways, guys, looks like I'm going to have to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.